Hi guys, this is Asha from Encore Pilates and Wellness. Welcome to week 2 of our 10-week Pilates Foundations program. So this week in our class we talked about our obturator muscles and the arches of our feet. So our postural support muscles. So we're going to go over this again in today's 30-minute at-home program. So again, I'm going to use some props. The more props you can use, the better for your release work. I've got these 2 little cups here. If you don't have these cups, please just use small balls. The harder the ball, the harder it's going to feel. I'm also going to use my hedgehogs again, just to release through my feet. Again, you can just use some balls. So let's get started. See you on the mat. Okay guys, so welcome. So I'm going to start by releasing these little obturator muscles. So under the glute here, right under the sit bones. If this is too painful, please just get yourself a chair. Otherwise, we are going to go with our legs in an L sit position. Now, disclaimer, this doesn't feel that great. Does not feel great at all. Oh, okay, so either I'm going to be sitting forward of the cups or I'm going to be sitting back of the cups. Taking my hands to the side of my body. Again, if one hip feels like it's sitting and one doesn't and it kind of like plonks on and off, that's normal. That just is your left to right differences. So from here, using my hands, I'm just sliding my sit bones all the way over until the cups are behind, in front. So they're on the hamstring side of my sit bones. And then I kind of lift up and come forward. So we're using our hands to help us. And we're just doing that a few times here. Up, over, up, over, up, over. Kind of coming up and over the sit bones. Good. And then from here, what we're going to do is come over so that they're behind the sit bones, so at the back of our body. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Try and find length in your spine. If you're on a chair, same thing, just sit up nice and tall. Good, so then from there, we're going to just start to reach over toward our feet. And as we do that, we open out our sit bones. So if you feel like they want to tuck back in, try not to let them do that. Think if you can really open them. Doesn't matter if you can grab your toes or not, we're just opening through our sit bones. And then we're just starting to come back. And then from here we're going to use our core to bring the sit bones back over to the hamstring side. And then core comes on, up and over. I kind of went around it, that's fine. And then come back up, sitting up nice and tall. And leaning over a little bit more forward. And then starting to take it back into your core. Inhale, exhale, pull yourself up. Reach yourself over. Good, maybe you can come a little bit longer. Inhale here, exhale to move. You can do about 2 or 3 like this. Again, the cups don't need to stay perfectly behind, in one spot. You can kind of rock over them because we're just kind of releasing anything that's around the sit bones. Good. And then come back up to your neutral position. Now, if you're on your chair, you're going to come to the ground now for this one and pop the sit bones, so they're pop the cups or the balls so they're at the back of your sit bones, and then we bring our knees up to bending. So this is when it really starts to feel that you can feel if you're tight. And from here, I'm just going to start to draw circles with my sit bones around the cups. So this is a very strange feeling movement because it's kind of like figure 8s. With the sit bones. I'm using my feet to help me and I'm kind of pushing and pulling my legs. one hip kind of drops over first, then the other one follows, and then you reverse it. So you can think of an infinity symbol here as well. And this feels really uncomfortable and awkward. This is work, you know, just to do this movement as much as you can. Don't just think, I can't do it, and then give up. This movement isn't for me. This is the type of movement you need to work through if you're struggling, because it means that you're tight. Cool, come back up, sitting up nice and tall. And then from here, we're just gonna start to float one leg up and extend it out and bring it back in and come to the other side. Use your hand to support as I'm doing, and then bring it back in. Good. So now, as I pull my knee in, I'm lifting up on my sit bones, up onto the cups. As I let my leg come out, I kind of fall off the cups, and then I'm pulling myself back up. Oi! I'm just rocking all over the place, that's okay. Pull in and up. Releasing underneath the sit bones. Oh, one more on each side. Oh. Good. Now bring the cups down. We're done with those. From here, we're going to come over straight into a 4-point kneeling position onto our hands and knees. So focus on those little underneath muscles that we've just released. So first thing I'm going to do is a cat-cow. Instead of just shoving up into my upper back, I'm going to think of pulling those muscles in first, and then I come up through my lower back, through my mid back, through my upper back, and through my neck. Then it's an inhale. Now I'm going to start to open those muscles with control first, not just let them fly, and let that initiate the movement to come into my cow. Inhale here. Exhale from the glutes first. Pull the pelvis under. Pull the belly gently up to the spine. Lower back. Middle back. Upper back. Neck. Inhale. Exhale, open the sit bones out with control. First, unravel the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, glutes first to curl the tail under. That's your initiation point. Should feel really good. And then reaching up. Beautiful. And then from here we come straight back onto our knees. So I know knees is not comfortable for everyone. However, I do want you to work through a little bit of uncomfortable feelings. So we won't be here for too long. Only time I just encourage you to stop is when you get like actual joint pain. So it might feel tight on the knee. When it feels like it's deeper than just a stretch, that's when you can stop. So I'm pressing my feet down onto the floor. Inhale. As I exhale, come up. I'm actually pulling up from those underneath muscles first, up into my high kneeling position. That's my inhale here. Exhale as I open with control those muscles. They kind of fan out wide, wide until they sit down gently onto my heels. Those exact same muscles are going to start to come in first. That's going to be my force to bring me up into my high kneeling position. That's where I take my inhale. My exhale is to slowly, slowly, slowly open, open, open. Release, release, release with control. One more. Initiate the movement from lifting up under the sit bones, up, and lower down. Gently open. Little bit of belly lifting up toward the ceiling. And then we come down. Beautiful, well done. From here, we're going to come with our toes curled under this time. So we're going to start to do our leg reaching out and coming back in. When we reach our leg out, can you feel those same muscles start to come together and lift up toward the ceiling? And by the time you go into an extension, they're nice and tight, little glute muscles. And then when you control it back in, you're just gently opening them back out. And then uncurling the foot and take it straight back out. Spine is nice and stable. Do about 3 more. This is a lot of control. So you know Pilates one of the Pilates principles is control. In fact, Joseph Pilates, before it was known as Pilates, he wrote a book on this Pilates theory, and it was called Controlology. So from here, keep that leg out nice and long. Now I'm going to press into my right hand, press into my left hand. I'm going to reach my left knee, and then I'm going to reach my left hand away. From here, it's a float up from the glute muscle, and then a gentle tap back down, and then a little float, and then down, small movement. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slide that leg back in. Send it back just to a child's pose for a breath, and then we can take it back up for the other side. So left leg, knees under hips, toes curled under, hands under shoulders, left leg slides out. And then we start to uncurl back in. Uncurl the toe out, connect into those little glute muscles, and then control it back in. Uncurl it back out. Control it back in. Try not to move my hips. Last one. Good, holding it out there, reaching the right hand away and floating up from the glute. Got 7 of these, 7 more, so 8 all up. And then hold it up there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then with control, bring it back down. Okay guys, so from here, let's head on down into our backs for a little bit of core glute work. All right guys, so we're here on our backs. Now, if you need a pillow, please get yourself a pillow. You want to feel comfortable, especially if it helps to relieve any tension in your back at all. So from here, I'm laying in supine, and I've got my heels flat on the ground, a little bit closer to my glutes then is better than further away. And then from here, I'm just going to gently let my knees rock a little bit side to side, and just let my pelvis kind of do a little rock side to side. A little bit of mobility in my hips. Now, you're not going to tip over too far that your whole hip kind of comes off the ground. This is a gentle little kind of pre-movement. And then from here we come to a neutral position, and I'm just thinking of keeping my whole torso still, and I'm just going to do a little leg lift, single leg lift. So I'm trying to bring my leg up just to 90-degree angle. Now I've got a cup of coffee sitting on my pelvis. You guys know that I don't like it when you spill my cups of coffee. Keeping it nice and still. This is called dead bug. Kind of the start of a full series. From here we're going to reach our hand up to the ceiling. Now I'm just keeping my pelvis neutral and I'm just letting one hand come over as one hand comes down, and then I'm letting the other hand go over as one hand comes down. Just trying to keep soft to my shoulders. Good, and then from here I'm going to have my right hands reaching over, left hand down. From here my left leg comes up into the 45-degree angle. Now this is a lot of tummy. Think of imprinting your spine to the ground a little bit, and we inhale and then exhale, swap. Inhale and then swap. Inhale and then swap. Use your inhale as your preparatory movement, and then move on your exhale. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, I'm going to think of keeping that leg in the 90-degree angle. This time, as I swap, I am going to do it really quickly and not touch the ground. So I go inhale and then inhale. Now the aim of the game is not to rock through your pelvis, through your rib cage, nice and toned through the tummy. I actually have to be using these little glute muscles that we've been playing around with to drive this movement. Otherwise it's just going to come from my hip flexors. 3, 2, 1. And then pop your feet down onto the ground. Hands on the ground. Coming up into our pelvic curls. So guys, last week we did femoral spiral. Apply that here. We've just got an added focus. So the first point of movement, engage those little muscles. So the pelvis comes into a posterior tilt, pubic bone comes to the chin. I'm going to start to come up one vertebrae at a time. I've got a little internal rotation as I go up. By the time I get up to the ceiling, it's an external rotation so that everything's aligned. Inhale to soften and articulate through the spine, and then move down to the ground. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, pubic bone forward, engage the little glute muscles, curl it up. Knees reach up above the ankles, take it back down. Maybe we're going to do about 3 like this. Rolling up and down through the spine. Last one. Stay up on your next one. Now we hold it there. From here, I'm thinking of pulling my heels in until my knees shift forward over toward my toes, and then I drop back. This is really going to get into my hamstring. Oh, it's about to cramp. Inhale, exhale, drag the heels in, and then back. Inhale, pull in, exhale, back. Inhale, pull in, exhale, back. 3 more, and 2, and 1, and let's have a little bit of rest. Control to open those little glute muscles a little bit as you come down. Good, take a breather here. Inhale as you inhale to prepare, exhale, come back up. And then hold yourself up there. Now from here, we're going to think of really planting our feet into the ground. So ideally, we want, without dropping our hips, we want to be floating that leg up into a dead bug. That's the goal. That's quite advanced. I'm not going to do that because I know I'll just go into my hips. So my first phase, if you can do it, by all means do it. Otherwise, you can do what I'm doing, and that is keeping the hips up, and just doing a little heel lift and then lower. I'm going to do about 3 on each side. Try not to move my hips, and I'm thinking of picking up from those little glute muscles. So a little bit in toward the pelvic area, in toward the inner thighs. Good. Once I've done about 3 on each side, then I'm going to use my hands. I'm going to see if I can just do a little float. Really grounding down to the opposite foot. Aiming for stability. One more on each side. And then plant my feet back down. Pull myself forward first as I curl my spine and curl up. Inhale. Exhale, start to take it back down. As I do that, I'm going to lift my hips to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release the glutes. Pull yourself forward with your heels. Come up. Inhale. Exhale, start to lift your hips up as you uncurl your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, pull yourself forward first with your heels. Last one, inhale. Exhale, curl up as you let your upper body come. And extend your hands over, backs of the hands down to the ground. And then from there, just start to slowly walk your feet out as far as they can go, and see if you can slide your heels out until you're just laying in a full extension. Okay guys, we're nearly done. We are going to do a little bit of glute and tummy work. So from here, my first point of engagement is thinking of my belly button pulling toward the ground. So that's going to lift my arms up for me. So let's do about 5 like that. Think of the belly button pulling towards the ground and let the arms float up with it. And then inhale, exhale, move. Inhale, exhale, control down. Inhale, exhale, control, move. Inhale, exhale, control down. From here, I'm going to start to bring my knee up toward my hands at the same time. So as I move from my belly, it's also pulling my knee to my hands. I'm going to pass my knee with my hands, and then I'm going to extend it back out. Same side, don't let that foot lower from the belly button. Inhale, 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 inhale. Good. From here, I'm going to dorsiflex my foot. So this time, as I do the same movement, I go out. Now I'm going to really think of not just my abdominals pulling in, but also that glute muscle pulling my knee up. And then control, release it out for the inhale. And then pull it in. And then control. And then 2 more. Don't forget about the belly button. Last one. Good. And then just hug that knee to the chest. roll that hip around in the socket. Coming over to the other side. Oops, sorry. So the first one, let's just do that same movement again. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale from the belly button. Let the hands come up. So you know what, it's actually kind of like a lever. Good, and then now let's think of the leg. So we start, inhale out, and then from the belly button to center, and then inhale, and then inhale. We've got 3 more. From here we add the dorsiflexion. Dorsiflex the foot, glute pulls in 2, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and last one, and hug the knee into the chest, and then rock out that hip, give it a little roll. Roll around. All right, cool. So all right, good. So from here, I'm just going to have you gently have your hands out into a little T position, nice and wide. And we're just going to let our knees drop to one side, the left hand side, as our head rolls over to the right hand side. And we lay here for a moment to breathe and just soften. And then come back to center, inhale, and then exhale, take it over the opposite side. All right, beautiful, and then coming gently over to one side, pushing yourself up, back to center, and then you are done, my friends. Well done. Thank you so much. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on our second week. So just these muscles, they kind of become inactive from sitting, and they really help with good posture, and not just good posture, but good pelvic floor strength. So if you just take the time as often as you can, maybe 10 minutes a day, to release and strengthen, they will start to become active in no time, and this is our foundation for good posture. So I will see you for the week 3 video. For those of you who I'm teaching in the class at the same time, I will see you next week, and well done. Thank you for joining me.